ようこそ私のソウルソサエティへ。波動の99五竜点滅。
私の春光は風、無給春光。
満開残花の太刀。加賀10万億死大掃除。
冷圧で一息に押しつぶす。波動の99五竜点滅。
私を葬れると思ったか。無給春光。
屍ともしばし戦の優越をくれてやる。残花の太刀南加賀10万億死大掃除。みんな
Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Nitrostorm here, and we're back with another video. This time they dropped the gameplay for the manga round 5 characters for AIZEN, SOI FON and YAMA. So this video is going to be going into deep analysis of all 3 of their gameplays for you, so you know if you should summon on round 1 step ups with the current Mugetsu and Vasto Lord Ichigo, or if you would wait for these guys to drop and summon on these characters instead. Let's get straight into it. Alright guys, so we're getting started first with SOI FON's gameplay. Alright guys, as you can see, her third strong attack is a full screen, which is pretty nice as you can see right there. Her second strong attack is a boost that transforms her, so it increases the magnitude of her attacks from her normal attacks and her strong attacks. So she will hit harder after activating the boost. And then last but not least, her first strong attack is a dash forward attack, which is pretty similar to the past Yoruichi, if you guys know her. And then her normal attacks has huge range, which is pretty nice. Alright guys, so it's now time for a deeper analysis into SOI FON's strong attacks. So if you take a look at the third strong attack, you can see that it's a 4-hit full screen third strong attack, which is pretty decent for someone without frenzy. The second strong attack is a 1-hit boost that comes with a moving vortex right after it, which is pretty nice. The moving vortex will last about your usual 25 hits. And last but not least, her first strong attack is a 3-hit dash forward. As I said earlier, is similar to past Yoruichis that I've shown earlier. Alright, now let's take a look at her normal attacks. As you can see, her normal attack string is relatively quick, but if you were to think about it deeper, you can see that her normal attack is actually kind of similar to 1000 Year Blood War Retsu and your speed Chad, which is kind of unfortunate because that makes her normal attack string not that fast. It's slightly faster than those two, but the attack style of the NAD string is actually pretty similar. But if you talk about in terms of range, you can see that her range is actually pretty huge at the end, the last two, which can hit multiple enemies if she were to be in PvP for example. But in terms of NAD speed, she doesn't compare when it comes to people like One-Armed YAMA, Weaken, and CFYOW, Can't Fear Your Own World, Noitra. Alright guys, it's now time to take a look at 1000 Year Blood War YAMA. So as you can see, his third strong attack is a very quick full screen. Comparing it to Mugetsu is definitely much faster. His second strong attack is a very long ranged S2. I wouldn't say it's as wide as Mind Shinji, but I'd say it's definitely got the reach. And then his first strong attack is actually pretty similar. I'd say he has a little less width, but in terms of the range, it's still pretty good. So he's pretty much a ranged beast while still being melee, so that his playstyle might not suit everyone, but for me at least, having that insane range and then using melee to finish them off, I'd say is a pretty nice touch. Alright, so now it's time to take a deeper analysis of 1000 Year Blood War YAMA's strong attacks. And if we try to take a look at his third strong attack, it might be pretty hard to gauge the how many attacks it does because it's so quick. But I'd say it does at least either 2 hits, so 4 with Frenzy, up to the usual 4 hit third strong attack, which is 8 hits with Frenzy. And then if you take a look at the second strong attack, again it takes a short amount of time for it to activate, so it's very hard to gauge how many hits it does. But if I were to gauge, it would be about 3 hits, which is 6 hits with Frenzy. And then last but not least, if you take a look at the first strong attack, the amount of hits is also relatively hard to gauge because of the health of the enemies, but I'd say it's going to be between 2 hits, which is 4 hits with Frenzy, or 3 hits again, which is 6 hits with Frenzy. And then last but not least, we have the normal attack string, which you don't really take a look at when you're comparing SP characters, but in this case it's decent. The normal attack string kind of reminds me of 1000 Year Blood War Kisuke, but the swings of course are different. But the NAD speed, I'd say it's about similar. I'd say Yama's slightly slower, but his strong attacks make up for it. Alright guys, so last but not least, we've got Aizen. So if you take a look at his strong attacks, you can see that his third strong attack has 3 different stages. That's the first stage right there. And then you charge it up a little bit, so you can see his third stage right there. And then here is the third stage, guys.
にじみ出す混濁の紋章、損なる狂気の渦は湧き上がり否定し、しびれ瞬き眠りを妨げる。破壊する鉄の王女、絶えず自戒する泥の人形。結合せよ、反発せよ、地に満ち己の無力を知れ。波動の救助。
So as you can see, that was a pretty big boy incantation if you ask me, which is pretty spicy. So if we take a look now at the second strong attack, you can see that his second strong attack is your usual moving vortex, which is your usual. And then the first strong attack is actually pretty nice. I thought it would be pretty bad because we saw the mags of his strong attacks and it was 40 mag for the first. So I thought that the behavior would be very bad, but the way that they made this first strong attack is actually really nice. I'd say it's definitely a very effective first strong attack, so I'm very looking forward to that. And then his NAD string is actually pretty nice. It has very nice visuals too, so you can't really complain. Alright guys, so it's now time for a deeper analysis on his strong attacks. So if you take a look at the third strong attack, as in no charge whatsoever. Now if you take a look closely, I'm not sure how many hits it does because all the enemies died in 1 hit. However, we can see that the range is actually pretty small. You can think of it like a mini Kurohitsugi. So it's just a small square in front of him pretty much. And then now if you take a look at the first charge of the third strong attack, you can see that the range is slightly larger, like a circle around him. You can think of this, let's say the closest to this is Can't Fear Your Own World, the novel Grimjow, his charged third strong attack. The range of him with his charged third is similar to Aizen's first charge for the third strong attack. And then for the amount of hits that it does, if I were to gauge it, it would be around 3 hits. Whilst the first no charge would be about, I guess, around the same. And last but not least, the big boy incantation, due to the fact that it dealt so much damage, I am unable to tell you how many hits it does, but it does big damage. And since the first hit that we see is about 5,000, we can safely assume that the amount of hits that it would do will be 4 hits, which is 8 with Frenzy. And then if you take a look at the second strong attack, it's your usual 10 hit moving vortex. Nothing really else to say about that. And the first strong attack is a wave attack, but I believe its behavior is actually very nice and it would be very consistent. And then finally, if you look at the normal attack string, it's relatively quick. It's hard to gauge when you compare ranged characters' nat strings, because in this case it does multi-hit each attack, and it's a 4-hit nat string with lots of multi-hits, essentially just there to increases the chance of applying weaker. Alright guys, so that's all 3 of the gameplays analyzed. Just one more thing before I end off the video. I just want you guys to think about AIZEN's charged 3rd strong attack. A lot of you are thinking that he might be pretty bad due to the insanely long cooldowns, but you have to consider the fact that the damage of that fully charged 3rd strong attack is so big that it makes up for the very long cooldown. By that I mean it takes about 26 seconds to fully charge, and then without recharge links it's 24 seconds for it to cool down, so you can start it over again. So with this in mind, AIZEN's DPS is still definitely good. He's not lacking in any way, he's just very impractical in terms of using him generally. In any case, I hope you guys enjoyed this analysis video. It took a really long time for me to put it all together, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's been your boy Nitrostorm. Hopefully you guys now have decided, with all this information here, to see if you were to summon to continue actually on round 1, or if you were to actually stop and now save round 2. Let me know if this video changed your mind or helped you decide. I'll see you guys in the next stream or video. Peace.